We're seeing how Mama Madikizela-Mandela burnt it up.
Yes, she did indeed. She did. It's so difficult to speak about Mama without actually speaking about politics, unfortunately. The relationship between what she did politically, cannot be divorced from our activism as artists composing music and so on. And we were compelled, not forced by politics, to write songs. The circumstances, the situation in which we always find ourselves in, given what she was going through, compelled us in a way, and we were driven in the direction where we felt the only way that we could do best, and raise the flag, was to make music and in recognition for her resilience, for her gift to the South African people.
At the peak of your career as a popular artist, you lived in Soweto. You were there when the townships... I know you do. But you were there when the townships were burning, when Soweto was aflame.
Yes.
How significant a role did she play in galvanizing, particularly the thinking of young people who really had few places, few heroes to look to at the time?
To have known Mama at that time was a privilege, which I will forever cherish. And for that reason, fortunately for me, I was even drawn into those activities where I interacted with many of the young people which she had put together, the so-called Nelson Mandela football team. And every Saturday she would invite me to go with her to some of the older shopping malls to go and just buy big groceries so that she can feed these kids. But if there was anything that would happen that she felt strongly about, then it was important that she approached it. She was always there when Soweto was on flames, when all the men, many of the men were not even considering themselves to be part of the struggle. She was always leading. She was in the forefront of challenging the system. And I think in that way it was something that galvanized and encouraged young people to act in a particular way, to act in a defiance way, because there was always Mother to look forward to protecting us.
In a sense, then, it's no surprise that, in the number of memorials that we've seen, certainly today, but in the tributes that have been pouring out since we all heard the news on Easter Monday, it's been no surprise that the artists, the musicians have been at the forefront of remembering her. A number of singers proudly writing songs for her, even when she was alive.
The unfortunate part is that we sometimes underestimate the power of the song at our own peril. Because remember, if she would galvanize people, there was this song that she would always be singing, Ibambeni Webafana. She had an incredible voice to lead, and when she started that song, it was always this big song that everybody, even today, people had to remember her by singing that song. So sometimes I do feel the unfortunate part is recognition for the role that the arts have played in terms of how it galvanized, and propelled people to act and be activists within the struggle itself.
How will you remember her?
Well, there are so many things that I wish I could say about Mama. One of the things that I spoke to Zinzi about this morning, I said, Mazette, Mama loved her garden. Please do find someone that can always tend that garden, because that is always something that she was always looking after. It didn't matter how she felt, but her garden was one of the most precious gifts that she loved. And that for me is something that was very, very special and I will always remember and cherish.
So of course you would have appreciated her. You would have appreciated her as a singer, as somebody who was able to sing. I imagine there must have been songs that you would have played with her, maybe even in silence. And I want to talk to you about those. So we're going to stay with you for a little bit longer. But it would not be proper, of course, to be speaking to artists without a performance. And as such, we're now going to hear a poem by Ubaba Pikita.